I'm sitting in a cold, cheap hospital chair where I slept last night, all crumpled and folded up like a pretzel, beside my comatose father. I use foam swabs to moisten his very dry mouth, and I can hear the patient behind the curtain next to us, the smell of antiseptic permeating the room. But none of this matters. These are his last moments of life, and there is nothing more I can do. So I play my classical guitar at his bedside. Wanting to create a connection with him that we may not have had in life. And I'm playing this piece that he loved. And my father came back for just a moment and said the name of the piece, Sounds of Bells. I was dumbfounded. Life is a series of moments. Like a rope built strand by strand, we tie knots to mark those memories that we want or need to revisit one day, like a bookmark so we can find them. In that moment, music was a knot for both of us. It bridged two worlds between life and death and father and daughter. Music brought him back to me because that's what music does. Music is an emotional language that transports us to those moments of meaning, those knots, to uncover the emotional and physical experiences of the past so we can take the learning and bring it into our present day and even into our future. Now, music can also bring us to moments we didn't know we needed to remember. My parents wanted me to love classical music. So, as any good teenager does, I made sure they knew I hated it. Long before the internet and Spotify, a 45 vinyl, little disc with a big hole in the center, arrived from my uncle in England. I was intrigued, but by this point, I was done playing music I would never learn to like. But there I was, secretly, in my room, listening to those opening notes of Cavatina. And to my shock, I discovered I could love classical music. It was this piece that helped me see myself differently, that I could be both a musician and a scientist. I didn't have to choose. This was another knot in my rope. And music can shortcut us to spots in our life that we didn't even know we needed to remember. Fast forward 20 years, and I'm standing in my empty family home, realizing that my 18 summers were done. My kids were off to live their lives, and I didn't realize that my role in their lives had a 18-year shelf life. And there comes a point when it all stops. And there I was in my empty home listening to this song. Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now reminded me that I had less time ahead of me than behind me, that the finiteness of life meant that I had to be in the present moment, choose who I was, and live life intentionally. Music brings with it a set of visceral emotions that reveals truths about ourselves that we sometimes only see in hindsight. And music can shortcut us to the past so we can take away new learnings for our life now. It's a few years later, and I'm standing in my empty childhood home of 55 years. We packed up only what mattered. The rest we let go of in a recycling truck that was pulling away. And it was this piece, Color Sepia, that was running through my mind. I'm reminded of the child who rebelled against music. Yet I also see the adult who's considering becoming a performer. This is my crossroads. Do I choose to put myself out there, or do I let it all go and tell regretful stories of what could have been? This piece shortcutted me to the past and propelled me to the future, and in a split second, I saw who I could be in either scenario. Music was my guide, and so I chose performer. That day in hospital, music anchored us to a knot in my father's rope. We lived a lifetime in that moment, re experiencing our bond as father and daughter. Music right now is marking this time in all of our lives, anchoring us to the emotions we're currently experiencing. Because that's what music does. It transports us to those moments of meaning so that we can take the learning from the past into our present and even into the future. And in those moments, music is helping us learn something, something our future self will thank us for. Thank you.